Hey, good evening. What's going on, everybody? Take a look at this. This evening, you're going to see Trump has a rally in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And just a couple hours ago, you see this really angry and upset, disgruntled tweet from Panty Bunch Garrett Hake. He's a correspondent with NBC News. He's taller than he looks on TV, he says. He's long-suffering SMU and Dallas Cowboys fan. Dog dad to shine. Okay, so he's a dog, so he's in the LGBT community as well. Interesting. Well, he's upset. As I said, he's tweeting this. Hello from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Did I say Winston-Salem before too? Shoot. Where hundreds await real Donald Trump at an outdoor rally. Outdoor. Attendees had their temperature checked as they arrived, and signs encouraging mask wearing. Great. About 10%, he says, are wearing masks. His guess. Doesn't know. No distancing to speak of. Outdoor events are supposed to be capped at 50 people. He then says, North Carolina just moved to phase 2.5. How do you have phase 2.5? Is it just phase 3? Is it 1, 2, 3? No, 2.5. No, there's no... Come on. Be real. Well, I'm going to get to 2.75. Then we're really going to be excited. Give me a break. Every time you ratchet up, just call it a new phase, idiot. Not you, but Garrett. North Carolina just moved to phase 2.5 of their reopening. Also, then North Carolina, you're also idiots. Granted, it's a Democrat governor there right now. Big surprise. Which includes the 50-person max for any gathering, anywhere. I looked to see if there was an exception for political events, but couldn't find one published by North Carolina Department of Health and Health Services, I'm sure is what that is. Health and Human Services, excuse me. And this says, unlike with a similar rally in Pennsylvania last week, North Carolina's COVID positivity rate remains problematic. Okay, well, if you use language like problematic, you're problematic. Gotcha. Problematic enough that several other states, including New York and D.C., is not a state, retard. Anyways, require visitors from North Carolina to quarantine for 14 days upon arrival. That's the worst thing ever, right? If you travel to New York or to D.C., you are required to do a 14-day quarantine or pay $10,000 fine. Unreal. So I'm just going to tell you, I don't think it's safe for Trump to have the rally. Not because of COVID. COVID's stupid. I'm getting rid of this. This is why I don't think it's safe for Donald Trump to have a rally. Because just a couple weeks ago, there were shots fired at the White House. And now, okay, in retrospect, in hindsight, you can look at that story and say the guy wasn't armed. He was trying to do a suicide by cop by, pointing his hands. He clasped his hand. He went for a fake gun. He went for a gun. He feinted for a gun. Then he pretended to draw one, put his hands together, and then pointed them at an officer. That's why he was shot. But it was spooky enough how they initially told everybody, including pulling the president off of the live press conference, that there was an active shooter situation at the White House. That was a big news story. Even if it was just a guy being weird, they took advantage of it and made sure everyone was keenly aware, that someone was trying to shoot at the president today. And you'd think that would be something that's, not good. You'd think they wouldn't try to sensationalize that. But, it's interesting. You want to see proof of normalization of threatening the president, right? How many threats does the president get a day? Well, in 2017, CBS News is highlighting, again, cheerleading the fact, it would seem, by how you read this, they're minimizing it, at least. It says several threats made against Trump per day, the Secret Service director says. Then they say threats per day against President Trump for the first 6 months in office are tracking about 6 to 8 per day, says the new U.S. Secret Service director on Thursday. This is in 2017. They say it's about the same number as Obama and Bush while they were in office. We'll see if that's the case now. And let's see if that's an honest number. Anywho, so that was then. Do you have any idea why the president didn't do the RNC in North Carolina, where he's rallying tonight? That's interesting. And he didn't do it in Florida either, like he said he may do as a backup. He did the RNC, he did his speech from the White House. And it was a really beautiful RNC. I'm not going to, say anything kind of weird about it. It was beautiful to watch. Every night you saw a different kind of background, whether it was the, ethnic and racial diversity, whether if it was the diversity of this person's origin story. You saw a lot of those. You saw a lot of the people who were not American at birth and are more American today than many American citizens wearing Antifa. So this is the president then giving his speech in front of the White House. You think he's scared? He said, do you think I'm startled? Do I look startled? Do I look rattled? I think it's what he said. Do I look rattled? Am I rattled? I don't know. Am I rattled? Do I look rattled? He doesn't seem nervous. They tell him every day, hey, you're basically, people could take a shot at you at any moment. And so that's why I'm saying, personally, I don't think it's safe for him to be doing the rally unless he's got the giant, Pope-mobile glass up. Does he have the wall of plexiglass everywhere around, the giant 6-inch thick, massive plates of glass that are going to save him from bullets? 50 cal snipers from a mile away that are going to try to take him out? Because you bet that there are those people right now gearing up with equipment, just trying to see if they can get a shot at the president. They do it, I would bet. Now, if you're the FBI agent watching this, know that I don't know that. This is not a threat. I'm just saying I don't think it's safe for the president to be out doing this unless he knows that he's got security, that they know they've had a totally surrounded. Now, granted, I'll also say I'm not suggesting they don't. I'm just saying it doesn't look super safe. Do you guys remember when Hawaii had the fake missile launch panic? And some people think that they know why that happened. There was a tweet from the president's account that was location marked from Hawaii, and then boom, you had a ballistic missile threat. They said was possibly North Korea, and then maybe we intercepted it, and then killed the concern, the warning. But very odd that some people want to claim that this was not a mix-up at all. In fact, the Washington Post even says, no, this is North Korea screwing around. They had a missile launch on Tuesday, but we corrected the error within minutes because there was a ballistic missile threat emergency. Well, okay, fine. Maybe that's a little weird for you. What about another one? What about this one from Skunk Bay, where there's not supposed to be any missiles? We're not supposed to have submarines in this area. There are supposedly, in Whidbey Bay, some naval bases. The submarines Banger Trident base and Naval Submarine base. But, again, those are not too far away, this person says. These are, if you're not aware, if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, this is a picture. There. You can see on this side of the screen, that is the picture from the skyline. And that is just this giant line. What is that? That is a rocket taking off. And you can see there is the actual missile right there and the streak. Very impressive photo taken in Skunk Bay. And so the question was, and Tyler dove into exactly what this was. It's a military installation that either misfired or they just caught firing a missile. Again, there's not supposed to be missiles there, but apparently there was. And they caught one firing on camera. So you see that, and then you see the Hawaiian missile threat thing, and you can't tell me at that point that if you're in the CIA, if you are one of the evil black hat actors in the CIA, and you had access to tripping one of these codes to get that missile to launch, to head towards a location that you can give it. Is it possible, and I know these are totally different dates, this happened 6 months after the fact, but say you've got access to 3,000 missiles. Wouldn't you just start launching them anytime that your political adversary or opponent were on a trip overseas or abroad somewhere? Okay, now think this through. If you're Donald Trump and you're actually on a golf course in D.C., or you're actually on a golf course in West Palm Beach, and your phone tweets from Hawaii with a location set in Hawaii, and then Hawaii gets a missile ping like this, and 6 months later, we now have a picture of a random missile firing that we don't know what happened. Where did this missile come down? Did that missile ever land? If it was fired in America, shouldn't we get to know where that came down? Did it come down? Is it just circling, waiting to come back, get somebody? Who knows? Where's the next tweet? So we looked at that. We looked at how many threats. Again, they said 3.5 years ago, 3 years ago, this was 8 or 9 a day. Now, Andrew Cuomo, he says The president needs an army if he's going to return to New York. Again, more normalization of threats against the president. They want you to think that it's normal to say, kill Donald Trump. They want you to think it's normal to say, Orange Man evil, let's tear him apart. They want you to think it's normal for Kathy Griffin to hold up a fake head of Donald Trump's. They want you to think it's normal for people to ree and scream and cry and say, that they have a wet ass pee and that they have ice cream pee and other things that you're hearing now in mainstream society and pop culture. So that's that. Donald Trump needs an army to return to New York City, and the best female role models on the left, who are literally interviewing the nominee, are the wet ass pussy queens. The best male leaders of the party aren't running to be the nominee. Even they know that it's a fool's errand. They're just telling Trump, like Cuomo is, oh, you're going to need an army if you're going to come back to New York. Oh, if he comes back, what is he going to do? Walk down the street? What is he going to walk down the street? He can't walk down the street, eh? Do you think Andrew Cuomo is terrified to walk down the street without security? He would be killed. In a moment's notice, he'd be killed. Do you think it's a little bit of a projection that he says he needs an army to walk down the street? Is it more accurate, do you think, that Andrew Cuomo needs an army to go down New York City streets? Because I don't believe Bill de Blasio, Andrew Cuomo, anyone who's representing New York, get Chuck Schumer's ass in there. Let Chuck Schumer walk down, man, drop him off anywhere in Manhattan and just let him walk. And we'll see how far he gets before he's mugged, beaten, raped, killed, tortured, lit on fire, and then people will chant around him, Black Lives Matter. So, if you think that's not far enough, just go and watch the rally. Look at the rally tonight. You're going to see in North Carolina, people talk on the news. I mean, don't actually watch the rally. If you really want to see what I'm talking about, flip on every other station. Look at CNN, ABC, CBS, MSNBC, AB. They're all going to be telling you, this is dangerous. Donald Trump shouldn't have a rally. He shouldn't have a rally that shows how much support he has. He shouldn't have a rally because it's going to spread the virus. It's dangerous. Please. It would be more dangerous because he's got enemies that want to kill him. Everyone in the country is now starting to wake up and realize, if they didn't already, they should be supporting Donald Trump because he's the only one that's protecting their rights. And I swear to God, people are recognizing this in mass. So the problem for the Democrats is they need to get rid of him fast. They're going to tell you the rallies are unsafe for COVID. I don't know. I think they're very unsafe for Donald Trump for another reason. So again, I pray that he is safe. I pray that the military is taking care of him and that he is insulated like they said. And yeah, that's that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Click the little notification bell. That'll make you aware when the videos are posted. That way you don't see them a week later. Because who wants to see news and my opinion on it a week later? You hardly even want to see this now. And then please do everything else that you can do to keep America afloat.